It's an interesting question in halacha connected to what's going to happen in just a bit. Many of us are going to go home, search our homes for chametz by candlelight. It's going to be dark. The question is, everyone has cell phones, and on their cell phones they have flashlights. Perhaps we could just do the search with the flashlight. It seems it's more convenient, it's easier, it's less messy. So are we allowed to do that? What's like the discussion around that in Jewish law? So it goes back to a discussion in the Gemara from a long time ago. Were you raising your hand?
I was, but I
right.
consider it.
It was like kind of like a rhetorical question there. But okay. But I'll field questions in just a bit, okay? I'll go back to the Gemara. The Gemara says that you're supposed to light with a candle, but you're not allowed to light with a torch. Now, it's not talking about like a blowtorch. It's talking about what is a torch in Jewish law. Basically, you have two wicks, like a Havdalah candle. You're not allowed to check with the Havdalah candle. And the Gemara says, what do you mean not allowed to check with a Havdalah candle? It's dark outside. That candle is maybe even stronger than a regular like lamp with just one wick. Or a candle with one wick. So the Gemara brings 4 reasons why a candle with one wick is preferable to a candle with 2 wicks. Here are the reasons, and this is important to keep in mind for the flashlight discussion. Think of it to yourselves if the flashlight answers these problems that are listed with the torch, with the double wick candle. So they say the candle can get into holes and crevices, but sometimes it's hard with like a larger candle, like a Havdalah candle. Number 2, the candle, its light goes before it, like it helps facilitate the search, and the torch, it goes behind it. Okay. The other one is that with the torch, one's afraid that it's dangerous. With the big candle, it could cause a fire. With a small candle, it's not such a concern. And the final one is that what?
You're making a good case for a flashlight.
I'm not saying there's not a good case here for a flashlight. I think there's a good argument for it. The final one is that the lamp it doesn't fluctuate, like a candle doesn't fluctuate as much as the Havdalah candle does. So it's more concentrated, it's more pointed. So when it comes to a flashlight, the poskim say, well, listen, a lot of these, similar to what Robert's saying, a lot of these reasons play into like the idea of a flashlight being okay to search with during when you go search for chametz. So those who push back against this say, well, that's all great, but the Gemara goes into great lengths to show that you specifically need a candle. It brings a lot of verses. And also the tradition is to use a candle. So the Pnei Halacha says, if you can, it's preferable to use a candle because that's traditional. But if you want to use a flashlight, it says for the reasons that were brought in the Gemara, a flashlight can be really concentrated. It's not dangerous. It's the opposite. It's the least dangerous. And it doesn't flicker. For all those reasons, you could use the flashlight as well. So he leaves it open to like what you want to do. I think there's an argument to be made for both sides. Yeah. So the mitzvah is to do it the way that the sages said to do it. They said to do it with that's what would be the counter argument. The sages said to do it with a candle. There's a lot of psukim. The soul is like a candle. So there's a lot of symbolism in that. So and some say, the counter argument is that some push back and say a flashlight could be considered a candle. He says here. A flashlight, since the thread of the filament is the flame and the battery is the oil. I don't know if that's such a strong argument, but that's interesting. I think there's a good message in here for like how we search for when we're working on ourselves. Sometimes we start with a big light. We have all these big ideals. We want to like search for a lot of things that are going wrong. Take one small thing. Take a focused direction on certain traits you want to work on, certain midot, certain characteristics, and through that you can succeed. Sometimes the big lights don't offer as much light as the smaller ones.